Here we go. All right, JR. That's right. With the governor. Who's living with it? Yeah. At 12:06 on this Friday, well, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. What a beautiful spring, actually even warm, Friday afternoon. Folks, God is good. I want to welcome everyone that is tuning in. This is the Noon Report, live from the government mother. And everybody on Facebook that is tuning in, you can share that you're watching. If you'd like to notify someone, you just type in their name. It should notify them on Facebook. I like to say hello to various people like Allison Foster. And there's Janice. Good afternoon, one and all. There's everybody. There's our crew. Everyone gearing up. Folks, there's David. The cards are here. There's Brian Feeney. Folks, don't forget Cranston PD Live. Cranston PD Live tonight. Friday night edition. Juan and the Paisan. We will be riding along with Cranston Police, yes, and it's Sergeant Corvesi. Juan and the Paisan, that's tonight, 7:30, Cranston PD Live. Well, folks, this portion of the program on this very sunny Friday with huge developments out of Warwick. I'm going to touch on the situation in Coventry. Now, we also have a developing story out of Burrillville this morning, or today, I should say, that I'm going to tell you about. But let me first remind everyone that this portion of the program, and it's brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Folks, stop in, support them, visit them. I was just telling Josh of 401 Cuts about them. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. And it's fair. He said, no, do they have everything? They absolutely have everything. And they run a very good Facebook page where you can see many of the various things that they have, but they have it all, and they're big supporters and sponsors of the program. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. They 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown, an abundance. They also have herbs, pots, vegetables are available, tomato, basil. I'm looking right now. Look at that Facebook page, and abrevieties. I mean, they have everything: tropicals, hibiscus, mandevillas. Red, pink, and white with it. Folks, it's everything you need, and you shop local. Check them out. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Again, vegetables, herbs, annuals, perennials, hangers, 10-inch, 12-inch moss baskets, 12-inch patio pots, and also tropic hibiscus, mandevilla, and they also have I think just beautiful selection. Hydrangeas really make a property pop. And I'm a big fan of abrevieties, which add a nice natural border and give you privacy, which is so important. It's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. They have it all. Shop there first. Great service. Right down the street from Tarbox Toyota, right off of Route 4, it's PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Well, folks, check out the website, depetro.com, and you'll figure out what everyone is buzzing about. Now, again, yesterday it was a very dramatic day in Coventry, and you can see the video from there. Obviously, and I'll walk through a little bit what I believe. The Coventry Police did put out a statement, but it's pretty obvious. The statement that Coventry Police put out yesterday, which was they responded to Flat River Road, the report of a domestic disturbance, and the case is under investigation by Coventry Police Department, Rhode Island State Police, and the Rhode Island Attorney General's office. So, and they're not going to comment any further. But something happened inside. I think Channel 12 was reporting that it had something to do with a family member. I think it was a nephew of someone, the owner of the residence. So some family member, but it's my understanding the female guest of the female guest of, I think, the nephew of the home had some kind of an episode. Amanda Pitts, family member, tells me there was a dispute between the homeowner's nephew and his girlfriend. She was taken to the hospital injured. And then they caught detectives photographing evidence, including a sledgehammer. But one of the things that seemed pretty severe was whatever this happened it happened while they were in custody. It's my understanding of the Coventry police. And for those of you, if you didn't see it, it is on the YouTube channel, and it is on depetro.com. But one of the things that stood out was representatives from the Attorney General's office were there, and Rhode Island State Police were there, and that would lead us to believe that something happened while someone was in the custody of the police. Now, there was speculation that someone may have passed away, expired. We're not exactly sure what happened. There was a rescue on scene. We were under the impression someone was getting chest compressions in the driveway, but it was not like a rough arrest. It's my understanding something happened to one of the individuals while they were in handcuffs. Now we have this developing story. Burrillville town councilman charged with DUI after a hit-and-run crash. This is just today. A member of the Burrillville Town Council driving under the influence, hit and run. Officers were called to the area, Centennial and Grove, 12:15 Thursday, where a woman said her vehicle was struck by a red Pontiac driven by a man she thought was intoxicated. Woman told police she tried to stop the male driver, but he took off. Police said she provided them with his license plate number. Officers went to the home, registered owner, 64-year-old Raymond Trinique, and met him outside. 64-year-old Raymond, I'll just spell it, Trinque. He was arrested failing field sobriety test. At the station, he agreed to a breathalyzer, he blew a 1.21 and a 1.25, police added. He was held overnight, driving under the influence, leaving the scene of an accident. Reckless driving, judge released him $3,000. So we'll follow that story. Folks, excuse me. One of the problems with DUI, now a hit-and-run DUI, right, he's not in his right mind. I guess now we could start saying some people, hold on a minute. Mental health is a problem in this country. No, alcohol abuse is a problem. Let me just, actually, I want to play the Channel 12 piece because I want to see how they pronounce his last name. But he is on the Burrillville Town Council, so that is certainly a problem. But here's this whole element that now whenever someone gets in trouble, and then the apologist starts screaming that mental health is a problem in this country. So is drug abuse. So is alcohol abuse. 50% of the crimes committed are people who are under the influence of alcohol. So it's a major problem. But that's not, this business that it's a mental health, everything now is a mental health crisis. If someone chooses not to work, therefore they can't pay rent, and then they end up on the street, well, that's mental health crisis. There's no accountability with that crowd. Let me hear. This is the Channel 12 piece on it.
This is 12 News Now. I'm Adriana Rosas Rivera. A Burrillville Town Council member is accused of driving drunk in a hit-and-run crash. It happened in the area of Centennial and Grove Streets last night. A woman says she was hit by a red Pontiac and believed its driver was drunk. The driver was identified as 64-year-old Raymond Trink, who is now charged with driving under the influence, reckless driving, and leaving the scene of an accident. Trink was arraigned and released on $3,000 personal recognizance. We're tracking the story on WPRI.com and coming up on 12 News.
All right, so he's the Burrillville Town Councilman. Folks, this is another example. Now, Governor McKee, and again, good afternoon, everyone, because I do want to talk about this situation where the McKee campaign, folks, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that we are stuck with this guy for the next 4 years. And I mean, we're stuck with this guy for the next 4 years. And it's really bothering me. We are stuck with this guy for the next 4 years. Governor McKee, look at yesterday Let's cut down on legal gun owners. Let's really give a hard time to legal gun owners. Let's get the T-shirts, and we'll do the photo op, and enough is enough, and moms demand action. He is absent on drunk driving. Now, as someone that covers, look at, you had Warwick, right? Poopy Pants Bacchus, bang, busted on a DUI. Burrillville Town Council, nailed on a DUI. Head of the laborers, Sabatoni, right, back in July, nailed on a DUI. There's no repercussions. There's no reason to still have this. However, Rhode Island is light on drunk driving, and Governor McKee does nothing about it. He puts you in danger. Now, many times, selfishly, what I mean when I say selfishly is where my concern is, as many of you know, when I'm out late, coming back from a crime scene, the later it's not your imagination, the later you're on the highway at night, the more you increase the risk that you may be involved in an accident with a drunk driver. I don't think they talk about that enough. I don't think they preach that enough. But Governor McKee, he never speaks out that Rhode Island, our drunk driving laws are weak. They could be stronger. You have a governor who won't make them stronger. I would imagine he's getting money from the lobbyists that want to keep it that way. There are attorneys that their business is getting people out of DUIs. And you have a governor, look at Olivia Passaretti. She should be graduating this spring from East Greenwich High School. Killed, driven off the road by a drunk driver. Matt Dennison, that wonderful family. His life killed by a drunk driver. And Governor McKee does nothing about it. The guy has no spine. He has no backbone. What do I mean he could do? I'll answer that question. He could make an effort on legislation. Let me be very clear. Connecticut is one of the top 10 states against drunk driving. Rhode Island, we're not the worst, but back of the pack. I think the last time I checked, we were somewhere between 35th to 40th. Rhode Island, overnight, boom. Speaker Sakachi, the Senate President, and Governor McKee could sit in a room and say, we're going to put Rhode Island in line with Connecticut. But they won't do it. They won't do it. He doesn't value the life of the people that are on. Now, never mind you have people like this woman, right? That was a hit and run. We have adults. We have people in elected positions. Bacchus didn't resign. I don't know if this guy's going to resign. Why should he resign? School committee, Poopy Pants, she didn't resign. It's Governor McKee makes it acceptable. The damage that this guy is doing to the state between the safe injection centers and also this whole situation of legalizing cannabis and what he's doing to these, quote, homeless. And I'm going to address that in a moment. I am telling you, we're bordering on irreversible damage. Folks, this portion of the program is brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. They're open 7 days a week. The next time you need urgent care, you, a worker, family member, AtMed Urgent Care. 2 locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. They do it all, 7 days a week. Doctors and nurses, AtMed Urgent Care. Stop in and see them. Again, if you need urgent care, instead of waiting for 6 hours in an emergency room, go to AtMed. I've been to both locations. They saw me both times less than 30 minutes. AtMed Urgent Care. And especially if you're in a car accident. Or, I get email from people, they take someone to the emergency room and they have to wait 6 or 7 hours. Not at AtMed Urgent Care. 7 days a week, doctors and nurses, AtMed Urgent Care. Well, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. Now, I don't want to single anybody out. But again, there's this misconception of, quote, homeless. And as I've been telling you, I see people, I don't believe they're their words. I think they're just parroting what other people say. As such as, and again, I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to try to embarrass anybody. But this business of we need to solve homelessness. If anyone that says that, or the people, we shouldn't be involved in Ukraine. I'd like to see us help the people in this country. Again, moronic thinking. Okay? Anyone that is saying that is not paying attention. They're just parroting lines they're hearing from people. I think we should help people in this country. Do you understand how much we do for people in this country? People that say that are either uneducated or parochial and have never traveled. Okay, the United States, look at the border, and the people are willing to do anything to try to come into this country. But this notion of solve homelessness, let's talk about what we're witnessing right now in the city of Warwick. This pathetic display where, and anyone, I want to remind people that say, I think we ought to help the people in this country. Why don't you go over to the Motel 6 on Jefferson Boulevard and start giving your money out to those people and see what they do with it? Because there's the quote, homeless. And by the way, I am so tired of the people that preach to us about that could be any one of us and blah, blah, blah. All BS. You have no idea what you're talking about. Good, go. Help them. See if you can. They don't want to work. They don't want responsibility. They don't want to pay rent. That's BS. Could be any one of us. Couple won't be kicked out of Motel 6. People are making a big deal about this. 40 homeless were sent there. How many visits by Warwick police? 300 since the fall. What? Look at the armory. They wouldn't even use the bathroom properly. They're slobs. They're irresponsible slobs. Stop calling them homeless. They're irresponsible adults who don't want to work or pay rent. I have zero sympathy for them. And now what are they going to do? Well, they're going to put 55 more of them up there. 55 are going to Motel 6 that we're adopting. Governor McKee is now an adoption agency. Plus there's 40 there. Do the math. Plus they bring friends along. You're going to have 100 homeless people. And now I'm calling them homeless. Those who choose not to work, they want to party. They want to drink. They want to do drugs. They don't want to work. I've been saying this. Right? They want hotel vouchers. I interviewed someone last summer. Some of you know who it is. This is someone who could work. She doesn't want to work. She wants free hotel vouchers. And she'll just crash wherever. She does not want to work. She could work. She could earn. She could afford to pay rent. She could live somewhere and contribute to society. They don't want to do that. Solve homelessness. What you're doing is you're creating more enabling. Look at the West Coast. Okay, we'll tell you what. Why don't you pitch your tent? We're going to give you free meals. We're going to bring a shower around. We're going to give you free phones. And what do those people start saying? This isn't that bad. It's not bad. It's not great. But it's not bad. And it revolves around employment. It revolves around employment and lack of employment. So those people that were sleeping on the steps of the State House, and then they were sleeping at the Cranston Street Armory, now the state of Rhode Island and Governor McGreed and his incompetent staff is now going to put them up, taxpayer dime, where they all get to live at Motel 6 on Jefferson Boulevard. That is not solving anything. That's not accomplishing anything. You're enabling those people. I want to remind people, and some of you out there, this could be anybody. It's such BS. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't have an opinion I disagree with. You have an uninformed opinion. Those people under the underpass, a lot of it is tied to drugs. Not all of it. A lot of it is, some of it mental illness, not all of it. Some of it alcohol, not all of it. It's always an excuse for these people. Why should we have to pay for it? Why should people who work have to pay for those who choose not to work? Every day, right now, today in class, somewhere in a school, in a classroom, some students did their homework, some students did not do their homework. This morning at work, employment everywhere. Some people showed up, some people didn't show up. Some people called out because it's a beautiful Friday. So should the people that called out and didn't work today make the same as those who actually put in a day's work? That could be any one of us. I can't stand that mentality. Can't stand the mentality. You're wrong. I think we ought to take care of the people in this country. Go to the West Coast. See how that's working out in Los Angeles. See how it's working out in San Francisco where they're not prosecuting shoplifters. What's happening? The people just steal. If you give people an opportunity to rip you off, they will. Go to those tents. Go to those homeless encampments. No money to Ukraine. We ought to help the people in this country. Go right ahead. Take your money, go give it to the panhandlers and see what they do with it. Do you think they're going to put a down payment on an apartment? No, they're going to make a beeline to a drug dealer or a liquor store as soon as you give it to them. Oh my God, McKee. So Motel 6 is going to be party central of homelessness, drugs, prostitution, and the state's adopting those people. Imagine now this crowd, right? 40 years old, bum, shabby. I want to ride. This is my room. How are you going to feed me? We're going to feed you? Why don't you grow up? Why don't you take some responsibility? My idea is very simple. Listen, if they need drug rehab, drug rehab. If they need alcohol rehab, alcohol rehab. But all the housing should be tied to employment, much like the people on parole. If you're on parole, you're not supposed to do drugs, you're not supposed to drink, and you're supposed to maintain a residence and employment if you're out on parole. So there should be it has to be a back and forth. Because otherwise, forget it. You have people that are right on the bubble. They work, they don't love their job, but hey, it pays the rent. How many people say that? It's not the greatest, but it pays the rent. What if now they don't have to pay the rent? Oh my God. And that mayor of Warwick is getting bullied. If you live in Warwick, you got big problems. And actually, it's not just that. It's everyone. Because it's the state. And that's Stefan Pryor. No one will be evicted there. We're adopting all these adults. At what point do they start to make their own choices, live on their own? Even the couple they were talking to yesterday, it's in God's hands at this point. Here we go again, blaming God. Yeah, God's deciding whether you have a roof over your head or you don't. I mean, do you really think you're just a puppet on strings in a play? Ludicrous. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show, and it's brought to you by Falcon Pest Services. Listen, residential or commercial, call Falcon today at 401-739-1322. Serving Rhode Island and Massachusetts, Falcon Pest Services. Locally owned and operated pest control services for termites, bed bugs, ants, roaches. Call John and Kelly. They also have a great opportunity for the right person. Mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. It's Falcon Pest Services. Call today, free quote, 401-739-1322. Listen, it's not your fault if you have pests. And by the way, it's a very bad tick season, as Jeff Gamach was telling me. Very bad tick season. They can treat your lawn property for ticks, mosquitoes. Falcon, Falcon, Falcon Pest Services, termites, ants, roaches, mosquitoes, many other pests. Homes, businesses, restaurants, schools, whatever, condos, commercial businesses. 401-739-1322 for Falcon Pest Services. Folks, good afternoon. Again, we will be doing Cranston PD Live. That's tonight, 7:30. We're live. You can watch the action. I also want to I'd like to highlight small businesses. And a business that I would like to highlight. And I like people, and they work, and it is Josh, and it's 401 Cuts. And they work 100%, and the guy grinds it. You can find them on Facebook, the area code 401 Cuts. Small family-run business. They do lawn care, cuts, clean-outs, fertilizing. He is amazing, and they also are big supporters of the program. 401 Cuts. That makes, I'll bet, what your mom would like for Mother's Day? She'd like to have the house spring cleanup, gutter cleaning, mulch. Contact 401, right? 401 Cuts, and then you can also text them at 401-585-6954. Free digital estimate. Blow out the front backyard, debris disposal. 401 Cuts. Contact Josh. Well, folks, now yesterday, I also want to give a special shout out to Team One, Roberta Farrell, who is always terrific. I want to let people, I want you to know, it is not easy. Yesterday, those of you that saw it, when we talk about first one on the scene live stream, yesterday was a good example of that. I'm telling you, 45 minutes at least, we were alone on that scene. And also Ann and, of course, David San Martino is always great. But, folks, I also want you to recognize, every time when I go and we're doing a live stream, we always learn things. Someone was saying, you should have used a tripod. I have a tripod. But you never know how long you're going to be there, right? I'm showing up alone on a scene. Those cars are going by like 35, 40 miles an hour whizzing by you. I don't know if I'm going to be there for 10 minutes. I don't know when I pull up if the police are then going to leave, which sometimes, they got there earlier. No one says, okay, here's what happened, and you're going to be there for 3 hours. That was a 4-hour excursion yesterday. Dropped everything and went, right? Because it was actually a half hour there, 25 minutes, half hour back, and then was on scene for almost 3 hours. So that's 4 hours where you just drop everything and go. And then you saw, Channel 10 showed up, then Channel 12 showed up, but I'm not knocking them, the two reporters that came. But I want people to understand that it's not easy in trying to put that together. All these people, there's so much hecticness. People are approaching you. I don't know who it is. Is it someone connected to a number of different people? It is really hectic. Now, when it pays out, you can check out the video. You're just not going to get that type of content. I knew right away when the state police were showing up, explaining the elements of the crime scene. I knew when the Attorney General's people showed up. The coverage is worth it. It's not easy. And again, I don't understand people that don't subscribe to the page. I don't understand. It's 24 cents a week. Do you want to support the content or not? Look at what's going on. The Projo, does anyone even read the Projo anymore? Journals, the Providence Journal is like nowhere. And I don't say that gleefully. They still have some decent reporters there. Every time you turn around, someone's leaving local television stations. And the radio people, a lot of them, not all, but they have the same work ethic of like Sherm Strickhauser, sitting there with a cigarette, like flipping through the paper. Folks, this is the age of streaming. This is the age of on the scene, live stream, right? How do you not root for that? If I were not one, I'd be rooting for it and want to support it, for crying out loud. It is not. It's so difficult. It's paying off, and people really like it, but it is not easy. So, but we are getting there, and I want to, follow. We launched a new show, Animal Officer, and Kelly Thurber, Officer Kelly Thurber. I'm so happy with the work we're doing. It's different, it's live, it's original content, and folks, that's where everything is going. Everything is about original content, and as many of you know that follow it, and I'm very happy with the group that we've assembled, and the people that work with me, Team One, who are just fantastic, and we're bringing on new people all the time. But I feel very good about the product, because it's providing content. I don't just I don't have someone. You're not getting it secondhand. It's firsthand on the scene, and the TikTok page is growing, and YouTube is really growing, and then Facebook. I would have been happy if we had hit 50,000 followers by July 1st. I think we're going to hit it before June 1st, for crying out loud. It's going so rapidly. And again, you can see Cranston PD Live tonight, and then Tuesday night, the vigil for Tuesday marks 1 year anniversary of Charlotte Lester, and I want to be really clear. I do believe that case will be solved. Warwick police, their efforts, they can't tip their hand. Do I know more? Of course I know more. My God. Someone actually, I kind of laughed this morning, but someone actually even said, "Now, am I going to the vigil Tuesday night?" Has anyone done more on the blanking case? I'm telling you, folks. All right, let's stay on track here, Juan. The situation at the border, I hope everyone also understands. I was so glad we had Ira Millman on right there at the border. And if you heard it, You heard Ira. He mentioned one of the destinations, all these people pouring in where they want to go, is Rhode Island because of McKee and these, giving out the driver's licenses. Border lines long. Gutaways top 500,000. 500,000. And what I also want to once again mention is I don't understand people who you do nothing that McKee's on-air radio circuit surrogate pork boy was allowed to just be on the air defending him and blocking all the other candidates for 3 hours a day, fathead, and block everybody out and basically be a 3-hour commercial for McKee. And no one raises any stink or contacts that radio station and the management that allows him to do it. I don't understand. Freely I admit, I don't understand the Rhode Island Republican Party being quiet. I don't understand people involved in the process quiet about it. It's like they're supposed to pretend it's not happening. McKee and Matos are destroying the state. Destroying the state. And no one will say a word about it. They're all quiet. They're so shy. I don't understand that whole mentality. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro Show. Hey, remember our friends. By the way, visit the website, depetro.com. We have the Coventry video up. We have Carbuncle Pond info up. We have a lot more. It's a happening. Brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Now, it's Mother's Day weekend. The weather's beautiful. A lot of people start going out Saturday night for Mother's Day weekend. The Coesit Inn. They have room for you. 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. Lunch, dinner, drinks, and lounge. Make sure you tell them that Juan sent you. The Coesit Inn. And I also, who else do I want to, I want to stay on schedule. Make sure I mention J. Perry Paving. That's it. You know what? Mom would love to get her driveway paved. J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service. It's J. Perry Paving for a free estimate. 401-732-1730. 401-732-1730. Rhode Island, Massachusetts. J. Perry Paving. No one is calling out the fact that these people, once they get in, want to come into Rhode Island. No one will call. Well, when I say no one, I mean other than myself. No elected Republican, put it that way, is calling out the fact that McKee, Matos have turned Rhode Island into a magnet. These people are draining our social services. This guy is about as equipped to be governor as I am to fly a spaceship. And admittedly, Juan would not be able to fly a spaceship. It's bordering on completely absurd. Now we're adopting adults, and we're going to pay for them to get free housing for the entire summer. And no one is speaking out about it. I am at a loss on this. He's bullying his way into Warwick. That Warwick mayor, we have some concerns. They're bringing a crime wave. Look at Zambrano. Don't you understand what's happening? What do you think is going to happen with all these illegals arriving here? McKee is encouraging them. Do you notice crime is going up? Drugs are going up. Accidents are going up. Drunk driving is going up. McKee is turning the state third world. Why am I, and I know sometimes when I say, why am I the only media person, and I know some people on WNRI, and once I get upset about that, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about others, and especially elected officials. Excuse me. I don't understand the silence. The Providence Journal does a story on the voter fraud issue. And I'm begging the Rhode Island Republican Party to, put out a press release on it. What are you waiting for? It's like they're fumbling the ball on the 1 yard line, and you're not sure what to do with the possession of the ball. What is happening here? Casino operator says online gambling brings big profits to Rhode Island. Folks, look at all these vices. State will move 55 homeless people to Warwick's Motel 6. They're not homeless. They're people who want free housing. With the Cranston Street Armory set to close, they're going to move 55 people and pay them to live there for the summer. Free rooms and free food. Why are we doing that? Sanity. That's Venezuela. That's communism. Let those people go. That's where they should be dropping them. I love how the governor of Texas, Abbott, ships them all over. Folks, we're going to be on the list next. And we heard that directly from the border. McKee, send us as many busloads as you can get because we want to register them to vote and give them driver's licenses. We are literally on the verge of collapse. I can't, all I'm asking for is a small one-paragraph press release from an elected Republican official. I want to give credit to Cranston Mayor Ken Hopkins. He said, whoa, no. You're not putting those people at the Pastore Center. No, we're not going to have the McKee homeless sheds. You're not setting up a little village there. So what do? They go into Zambarano. And then he said, you're not putting any more in Cranston. So now they're going to ship them to Warwick. McKee said, get them out of Providence. So now they're just going to ship them to other parts of the state. That's not solving the problem. And they're loudmouth advocates. That could be anybody. Why are they such slobs? It's one thing. Let's just pretend that by no choice of their own, they are, in fact, quote, homeless, even though I don't believe that. But why are they such slobs? Why are all the encampments filled with trash, litter, bottles they leave behind, old tents, sleeping bags? Just dirty, filthy. They were destroying the inside of the Cranston Street Armory. These are irresponsible, reprehensible adults. That's what they are. But what's the narrative? Homeless families. It could be anyone. We must solve this crisis. These are homeless kids. And they're people who are just doing their best and blah, blah, blah. And they're just looking for a leg up. It's all BS. It's not. It's a bunch of gold brickers. They are vagrants, degenerates. Many of them are sex offenders, child predators, layabouts. Oh, my God. But they have all the defenders, just like those people attacking me. That poor woman that jumped up on the delivery truck. How dare you? She's a victim. She's a victim. What about the delivery driver? Oh, she's a victim. Oh, my God. I can't take the wokeness. Right? I can't. And there they are. McKee and the rest of them wearing their little red shirts up at the State House. Bunch of goofballs. Yeah, let's go after the legal gun owners, because that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. How come when there's someone of color involved with a shooting, they never do anything about it? How come Black Lives Matter? That 15-year-old, right, shot and killed in Chad Brown. Where's the protest? Where's the protest? Lugo slapped someone who grabbed his back, and they're protesting. A 15-year-old is gunned down at Chad Brown. Where's the protest? Where's the protest on that? Breonna Taylor! Oh, yeah, let's keep talking about the stuff that goes on in other places. Folks, this portion of the John depetro Show is brought to you by Limitless Outdoors. Hey, use your outdoors. Call Chris today, 401-580-1852, Limitless Outdoors. Imagine today that you have a beautiful patio to be outside. Walkway, steps, outdoor kitchen, landscape lighting, retaining walls. It starts with a phone call. Their slogan, Dream, Build, Enjoy, Limitless Outdoors. Call them today. Let them see your outdoor space, and then they'll tell you how they can do an outdoor fireplace, an outdoor kitchen, an outdoor fire pit, landscape lighting, excavation. They do it all. Dream, Build, Enjoy. They're based right in Smithfield. Call today, free quote, 401-580-1852, Limitless Outdoors. Folks, 1245 It is Friday afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. Yes, we'll be doing Cranston PD Live later. And then all weekend long, we do On the Scene live stream. Yesterday was a perfect example. On the Scene live stream. On the Scene live stream. News breaks. Boom. Drop and go. The Wanmobile with the light is set up like a television studio where we have the equipment and we are in action. Yesterday was a very good example. And Monday. How about Monday? Only one on the scene in North Kingstown for that standoff with police. And then yesterday, I'm not knocking the rest of the media, but if you want their info, you have to wait for it. It is my belief that people want it instantly. I want to see what's going on. Unedited, uncensored. What does the media say? No, you can't handle it. We need to censor it and package it for you. I don't believe that. I like it. Boom, live. I used to love court TV outside Camp OJ, the courthouse. The old guy whose name escapes me. I love that. I couldn't get enough of it. They're right there. Then they'd go into the courthouse. And then they're right outside. I'm like, now this is wild. This is coverage I can get excited about. I like someone who's on the scene. And it's a, live stream. But you can watch it on replay. It's also on demand. Much like Animal Officer. All right. Let me see. Who else? Where am I? Hold on, everybody. I want to make sure we mention everyone. I know people are questioning. Someone was asking me, they're asking me, do you think I should put my money in gold? Hey, listen, I even said, why don't I also try to figure out if you need a pacemaker? No, call Tommy Bryan at Ameriprise. Yeah, maybe I could fix your car while you're at it. No, I can't. No. Should you invest in gold? I don't know. Call Tom Bryan, 401-434-1510. How much is it going to cost? Free consultation. Retirement planning. Investments. Estate planning. Maybe it's not the right time to buy a house. Maybe it is the right time to sell your house. Education planning. One thing I know. Many people don't offer you anything. I'm offering you free consultation. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise. The guy is amazing. 401-434-1510. Office is located 400 Massasoit Avenue, East Providence. Tom Bryan, Ameriprise Financial. Call today, free consultation. And also you can learn more long-term care coverage. Many people find out, wait a minute, right? Grandpa's got Alzheimer's and now we're not covered and they want to kick him out of the unit, the dementia unit. Call free consultation. Our guy, Tom Bryan. 401-434-1510. I'll go with you if you like. 400 Massasoit Avenue, East Providence. I actually offered to buy people drinks if the guy's a supporter of the program. We need him to keep supporting the program. And I can't convince anyone to call him. I am failing. This is a one failure. I will meet you I will buy the booze if you'll call for a free consultation. 401-434-1510. I have people every day. I would love to meet you and get together with you. You can. But first, you got to go through TB, Tom Bryan, 401-434-1510, Tom Bryan, Ameriprise. Now, I want to reach out to, on this beautiful Friday afternoon, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Let's see if we can locate the Queen of Health on this sunny Friday. I think we can. 1099 Mendon Road, diagonally across from Davenport Restaurant. Folks, on this sunny Friday, it is the Queen of Health. It is our friend Marie. Marie, good afternoon. And your ears must be buzzing because last week, as I was riding with Sergeant Corvasi, Cranston PD Live, his allergies were bothering him. And I was suggesting, I said, Sergeant, all due respect, but if you stopped and saw Marie at 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland at It's My Health, Marie would help you with those allergies.
Absolutely. I would help with the allergies. We have homeopathic remedies, we have herbal remedies, we have sinus sprays, all kinds of things to get, and homeopathic remedies are amazing. We have some that are specific for trees, which is what is pollinating right now. But we can help we can help.
Marie, is this a bad allergy season with different people? And what are some of the things when they come in? If people are bothered right now by allergies, if they pop in to It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland, they won't leave empty-handed.
They won't. We can offer quite a few different suggestions. I especially like the homeopathics, but we have some of the herbals as well. We have some things that'll help you breathe within 20 minutes.
Wow. Now, it's also Mother's Day weekend, and I'll bet Marie has beautiful, wonderful gift ideas from Mom that are also either healthy or maybe beautiful things like natural skincare, hair care products. Marie is open. It's Mother's Day weekend. It's My Health. Now, Marie, if someone came in and said, I want to get a great gift for my mom, and I know that's a wide open question because then you'd want to dig a little bit, but what are some of the things that you would recommend at It's My Health?
And some of the simple things like skincare, body lotions, some of the really nice soaps, but also maybe a gift certificate. Maybe they want to get some reflexology, or maybe they want to take a yoga class, or just give something like that a try. A gift certificate could be good for that.
Folks, again, it's Marie. It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Now, Marie, Brian apparently hurt his back gardening and asked me to ask you about if you have some hemp or CBD products that might help his back.
We do. We have liquid that you take orally. We also have gummies, and we also have topicals. So you can combine them. You can use oral and topical, or you can use gummies and topical. And we have some that are like a gel kind of thing, so you can take it internally and put it on your skin.
Now, folks, again, it's Marie at It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Mother's Day weekend. And Marie, I would be willing to bet, if I were going to place a wager, that if someone came in and said that their mom or their grandmother, spouse, whoever for Mother's Day, that they would like to get them a nice tea or a couple of teas. What are some of the nice teas that Marie might recommend?
Oh, especially with this beautiful weather. We have a number of green teas that have great flavors. If you're looking for a berry flavor or an apple flavor or a spice flavor, we have a raspberry green tea that is great as an iced tea. So quite a few different choices depending on someone's taste, if they want bulk teas, loose teas, or if they want box teas.
Now, Marie, also, since it is going to actually be warm today, I believe getting up into 80, at It's My Health, folks, Marie also has something for those that get dehydrated.
We do. We have some drops, electrolyte drops, that you can just put into your water or whatever you're drinking. And we have some powders, so they have some fruity kind of flavors that are based on coconut water, and coconut water is very hydrating. So powders that you can just add into your water.
Now, Marie, if someone wanted to come in and maybe purchase a gift certificate or touch again on some of the health classes at It's My Health.
We've had some fun classes just this week. An introduction to numerology was absolutely a lot of fun. Everybody was sharing, doing their own, figuring out like their moms and their dads and their kids, figuring out, all these different things. We just completed also a class on how to read tarot cards, so that was an intensive. We have a group healing coming up. We have a meditation group tomorrow. It's the second Saturday of every month. That one's free. We have a class coming up called Self-Care in the Magical Realm. Interesting, right?
Very interesting.
And then we have Yoga Nidra, which is a guided meditation, and you get some Reiki and some sound healing with it. So there's a number of different things. If people check our website, they can see what's going on. And
give out that website again.
It's my-health.com.
And Marie, what are your hours? Folks, let's give Marie a big Mother's Day weekend. What are your hours for today and for tomorrow?
Be here till 5:30 today, and tomorrow from 9 to 4.
1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. You are the Queen of Health. Marie, great to talk to you. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, John. Take care.
All right, folks, there it is. She is so delightful. Good afternoon, everyone and all. At 12:55, you're listening to the John depetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Right now, if you're listening and you're in the Cumberland area, especially on Mendon Road. Pop in, support the people in that area. So fortunate to have a local business, a local retailer. Her service is great, all quality merchandise. But folks, you have to support these small businesses, I'm telling you, or we're going to become Chain Island. Or every time you turn around, we're going to lose that local flavor, and it's going to be all chains. All right, let's see if we can reach. No guarantee on this, but let's see if we can reach our friend John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies, because it is Mother's Day weekend. Folks, joining us on the line right now, it is the defender of the faith. It's our friend John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies. Good afternoon, John Francis.
Hi, John. How are you?
Mother's Day weekend at Competition Shooting Supplies. John Francis, nothing says I love you, Mom, more than a gift certificate at Competition Shooting Supplies.
Absolutely. We've got plenty to go around. We're pretty well stocked with product, and so a gift certificate's a great idea.
Yep. Now also, let's talk about what you posted just within the last 24 hours. Beautiful Pertasoil Sharps. Can you touch on that? Boy, these... Where did they come from? Go ahead.
That was imported by a company called Navy Arms, which
wow.
is no longer in business. So that was made by Petersoli in Italy, and it's a copy. It's a pretty exact copy of the original falling block Sharps rifle from the 1800s.
Wow. And
so this is a 30-inch full heavy octagon barrel. The action, the hammer, the action itself is all color case hardened. It has a double set trigger, so meaning when you cock the hammer, you have the option of just pulling one trigger, and it gives you a heavier pull. Or if you prefer something a little finer for more precision shooting, you hit the set trigger first, and then the main trigger is only about a half a pound to light it off.
And John Francis, about what time period was this popular?
So this is a modern version
okay.
of a gun from the 1800s.
Wow. Now also, folks, again, it's John Francis, Competition Shooting Supplies, 435 Benefit Street in Pawtucket. Do you still have the Stag 15? Is that still available?
The Stag 15 is still available.
It is. Wow, what can you tell us about that? It's beautiful.
That gun is like new. I had sold it new to one of the sons of one of my long-term customers. He ended up running into got himself a fairly good-paying job, but he had to move out to the West Coast. And unfortunately, the state of California bans those things.
Oh, wow.
So he could not bring it with him.
Huh. All right. Well, it's going to be a win for someone.
So he sold it back to me. There's maybe 100 rounds to this gun, maybe.
Wow.
That's it.
And also, what about that Mossberg 590 Shockwave?
So the 590 Shockwave, so that is strictly designed for home protection. So even though it's got the short barrel, it is not classified as a shotgun, and it's not a handgun, but it is classified as simply a pump action firearm. So as long as you don't change the grip that's on the back of it, leave it in its original configuration from the factory, you won't have any legal issues. But if someone changes that grip to something else, now you're going to potentially run afoul of the law.
John Francis, it's Mother's Day weekend. I'm up against the clock. What are your hours today and tomorrow at Competition Shooting Supplies?
So today I am open till 6, tomorrow 9 to 4.
All right, you're the defender of the faith. Thank you, John Francis. Folks, it's John depetro. Another hour to go. Now coming up, the 1 o'clock news. Another hour to go on the radio. Cranston PD Live tonight on Facebook. It's John depetro. Stay tuned. Another hour to go. We're back on the other side after the 1 o'clock news.